Red vs. Blue Season 4 is a return to form for Blood Gulch, for the most part. Rather than having the huge, crazy story of Season 3, we go back to dividing the story between the two teams. Well, what little story there is. Yes, like true Blood Gulch, not a lot happens. We spend most of our time messing around in a box canyon. And that's not a bad thing. Despite everything, I really do like this season. Not as much as the last 3 seasons, but I enjoy it. We start out in Blood Gulch as Griff screams in despair, understandably. After shooting at Griff for a bit, the Reds decide to check out their base.
Oh my god! What if we're in there?
Yeah, no, wait, aren't we out here?
I mean past versions of ourselves. We could go in there and meet ourselves. Oh man, we'd be best friends. We'd have so much in common. Finally, someone who shares the pain.
Donut, that's not how time travel works.
Yeah, sure. How would you know? Sarge gives a speech about awareness while a tank rolls behind him with everyone but him seeing it. And even though Sarge knows that the Blues have a tank, he insists that there is no tank and that Simmons is crazy, kicking him off Red Team. And this is the Red Team plot for the season. This would bother me, and on some levels it does, but the jokes here are fantastic and it leads to new character interactions that are really fun to watch.
Simmons, I can understand you're going crazy and seeing imaginary tanks.
The tank is right there, for the love of God.
Still at Zanzibar, Church's ghost appears and warns the rest of the team about the elite from last season. Tex attempts to attack it, but...
Oh, crap.
Back at Blood Gulch, Simmons allies himself with Sheila, and Sarge needs to find a new right-hand man since, Sarge is too stubborn to see a giant tank. Meanwhile, in an attempt to get their bodies back, Church and Tex use Caboose as a distraction. Of course, in Caboosely fashion, he ends up befriending the alien. This cannot end well. Sarge holds a competition to see who will become his second in command. Griff is automatically disqualified because he's Griff. So the remaining contestants are Donut, a wrench, and a skull. I'm betting on the skull. Back at Zanzibar, Tex recruits Andy, the talking bomb, to translate for the alien. This somehow works, and the Blues learn of a quest to fulfill the Great Prophecy to gain a great reward. This Great Prophecy thing is one of my least favorite aspects of the Blood Gulch Chronicles, as it's never really established in a clear way and leaves a lot of questions. All the Blues go on the quest except for Church, who heads back to Blood Gulch. He finds Sheila, who seems to be malfunctioning, and Simmons, who has been holding Griff captive and generally going insane.
That's it. I'm gonna kill them all. Hey, Sheila, lock and load. We got somewhere to go.
After messing around with Church, Simmons returns to the Red Base, and after a court case, Sarge accepts Simmons back into Red Team. So, you might be wondering what happened on the Great Quest. After killing a dead monster and camping in a swamp, the Blues arrive at the base guarded by the Grunts. Uh-oh. Tex wipes the floor with them, and Tucker finds out that the sword is also a key. When he opens the lock, a banshee is revealed, and the alien abandons the group and starts flying away, only to be killed by Wyoming, who also ended up in the future. Somehow. Tex goes after him and disappears for the rest of the season. Tucker, Caboose, and Andy, thinking the quest has failed, head back to Blood Gulch. Upon returning, Tucker gets really sick, worrying that whatever Tucker has is contagious. Church has no other choice but to call Doc/O'Malley. He arrives bringing Lopez with him, and Doc makes his diagnosis. It turns out Tucker is... pregnant.
Alright, are we paying for this service? Because if we are, I want a refund.
Yeah, it turns out that the alien infected Tucker with a parasitic embryo during the quest. Why? Well, we don't know yet. Anyway, Tucker goes into labor while the Reds retrieve Lopez for those plans that were so important 2 seasons ago.
Oh my God! Eddie! You're dead! How did this happen?
They get the plans, and they are...
Okay, also, try to do better than you are currently doing. And please win.
underwhelming. Since the plans give no advantage to the Reds whatsoever, Sarge radios Vic, who is somehow still alive, and requests more men, even though at this point the Reds outnumber the Blues pretty well anyway. Oh yeah, Tucker somehow gives birth to a baby, how I don't know, and I really don't want to know. Donut runs after Church, wanting to see the baby, but he is crushed by the arriving ship.
Ship's here.
Shotgun.
And that's how Season 4 ends. I know this season may seem short, but really that's not true. It's just that not a lot of plot happens here, and I'm okay with that. The plot really gets replaced by the jokes and situations that are still fun to watch and make this season really enjoyable. I wish I could say the same for season 5, but we'll save that for next time. See you later.